Hello everyone, and welcome to the first Greed of Man devlog. I'm going to start doing these new YouTube video formats where I basically go a little bit more in depth with the actual development and things that I'm adding on a task-to-task basis. So first off, I've already gotten a little bit done. Might have seen the previous YouTube video, but I started work on the advanced car modification system. This is the little sticky note that I made. And this is the first car that I came up with. It's called the Lemon. The Lemon is basically just a really cheap starter car that you can modify into like a very basic race car. So when you first find the Lemon, you find it in junkyards, which I'm going to be adding soon, and you'll find it in pieces. So you'll get like just the body, for example. This is what the Lemon body looks like. So you might find just the body and maybe a couple of pieces like the hood and the grill and maybe an engine if you're lucky. So when you come along it would look something like this, and it would be all brown and worn down, and then eventually you'd be able to get it to a point where it looks something like this, where it's all decked out. That's what I gotta do right now, is I gotta get these doors separated into two separate models. That way you can, if you want, only put one door on at a time, and I can even make it where people can shoot off doors. I also just got done separating the windows, so they're their own model now, and that makes it so then I can shoot out windows and they break into glass particles. We'll be doing that sometime in the near future. Alright, so we gotta separate these doors. Alright, so I think I got the door separated now. If I select the armature and I go into pose mode, I can rotate one door individually, and I can go over into object mode and select the other door, and I can rotate that one individually as well. I'm thinking of making a new wing. Let's just kind of mess around and see what we get. So just playing around a little bit with models, and this is what I got. So here's the previous wing, which is Lemon Wing A. And then here's the one that I just made, which is Lemon Wing B. I just made it a little bit taller. Maybe this could be like a drag wing or something that just gives you a lot of downforce. That basically shows how easy it is to add new modifications to cars. So these are all the parts I have so far in Unreal. So as you can see, I have the engine, and I can walk up to the car, and I can work on the car. And this UI is very cluttery. I'm going to be replacing this to make it a little nicer to look at. But as you can see, we have an available part, Lemon V6. We click it, and then it pops into the car. We can select it. Then we can see all the slots for the engine. My favorite attachment's the hood, which when you put it on, you can actually open and close it. So that way you can work on the car easier and select the parts. And then again, when you have the parts in the car, you have this little hover outline that you can see that you can select, and it kind of hovers to where the car mesh actually is. So then if I select on the engine, the camera kind of goes over to the engine so I can see it better. There's also parts to parts. So for example, the engine has a cap slot, which is for the engine cap. So you can put on the engine cap. You can still select it and see the available parts. You can even see the parts that are already on it and remove them. And one part that I just added was this crankshaft, which is actually an item in your inventory that you carry around. So I just got done with most of the cosmetic aspects of the car. The only thing I'm missing is the front grille, which I'll get in very quickly. But you can open the hood, close the hood, and you've got your wide body. I've got a skirt, I've got a wing. Still missing a rear bumper, gotta add that soon. I've got the seat. Passenger seat, I've got the rear seat. Haven't done the driver's seat yet because I have to do the code for that. And then I also got the dashboard right there. I even got the headlights in. I still gotta get the wheels and suspension in though. So yeah, just wanted to make this video really short and sweet, just to give you guys a quick rundown of what I have so far for the vehicle system. I've also got this elevator system, which I also showed off in a recent video. Basically what you do is you walk up, you call the elevator, and then you can enter. And then you have this little scroll wheel here that shows you what floors you can go to. So for example, we want to go to floor 1. And travel to floor 1. And then you're able to leave. And you can call the elevator again. And if it's already at the floor, then it just stays. You can go to the next floor. I also made it in a really modular way where I can do a whole bunch of floors back to back to back. And just all up in the sky. It's even so modular that I could actually technically make it so then elevators go side to side. Also for the building models, I had to go through a lot of them and change them a little bit. For example, I didn't have these little stub pieces here where they're like a third of the half walls. So I had to go into Blender and mess with all that. I also had my 3D modeler Casey create these hospital bed models and monitor models, and I think they turned out pretty good. I also changed the door system a little bit, so the widget that shows that you can open and close the door actually follows the door, and when you press it, it disappears until you overlap with it. I also changed the sound effect. I don't know how well you can hear it on the YouTube video, but I've also got the animations running a little smoother. Eventually I'm going to redo the door system completely, so it's a modular system, kind of like the car system. So then you could have different hinges that you could change out. You could put armor on your door. You could change out the locks and stuff. I also want to add a lock picking minigame for the doors, but that's going to be in a later update. And once again, thank you to anyone that made it this far in the video. I'm going to be starting to make videos like this where it's a little bit more in depth and I actually show what I'm doing. Make sure to like if you liked it, dislike if you didn't, and I'll see you guys in the next one.